gotten worse or better since she left? But we're going to talk about that. Claudia Gay right here. We all know her. She's a former Harvard professor. But some people say it was a scapegoat when she resigned, but there were allegations about plagiarism and then also not really dealing with the Hamas war. We can't even take a good breath now. So some people feel at ease that she's gone, and some people feel she was pushed out. But there are some people that really wanted her to stay. And there's a section of this situation where, well, she's considered a role model. And you ever been in a place or a situation where you don't really feel or see like you're seeing somebody like you? So let's think about this with African American women. So she was the first African American and first African American woman at Harvard and the shortest term ever. So you wonder how that's going to hurt legacy. But you think about the good part of it, where maybe you might see more African American women. Now, there are some African Americans that do go to Harvard. I don't know how many. But let's not forget the legacy that she did leave on somebody who's African American and a female. It may not have ended well, but it started out with a lot of hopes and dreams. So let's go into that. Think of yourself as an African American female. There's this op-ed by this writer that writes for Harvard, who she told her story. And the story is called To the Dreamer Claudia Gay. We as Black women, thank you. So I'm going to read this. This was an editorial, and this was her opinion about the legacy of Claudia Gay. So this was written by Keisha M. Williams. She's 25, and she's a Crimson editorial editor and also a psychology concentrator in Kirkland House. And it goes like this. United we stand, divided we fall. To former University President Claudia Gay, on the rainy autumn morning of September 29th, 2023, I watched as your soulful stride and proud aura graced the steps of the platform before Memorial Church. The damp stairs could not impede the history about to be made. In the following days, my grandparents, aunts, and uncles all called me, asking if I had gotten a photo with you yet. Not yet, I replied, but there's plenty of time. As a woman of renowned talent and academic achievement, born into the loving embrace of two Haitian immigrants, the measure of your success will always exceed the limitations others would place on you. Dedicated to excellence, you have proved your capability well beyond what others couldn't expect, well beyond what is expected of a woman, and well beyond what is imagined for a Black woman. From the moment your clipped corals took the crown of higher education, your character, your ability to lead, and your integrity have been called into question. But even now, even at the announcement of your resignation, any photo of yours used in the press depicts an elegant smile with your head held high. Remember, we're reading an editorial. Thank you for this. Dearest dreamer, the photos tell me, worry not about the troubles you face. Although others might obstruct your climb, dream, dream despite. Even in this moment of struggle, President Claudine Gay, you serve as a beacon of hope to Black women across the world. As I watched you walk across the stage and accept the keys to Harvard, I couldn't help but live through your success, to taste the unadulterated happiness as I felt our ancestors cheer you on, to know that my time at an institution built without reverence for people who look like us will be placed in hands that look like mine. You are my grandparents' wildest dreams, and I remember with anguish the day I saw you in person and was too shy to ask for a photo. Your success marks a once unachievable dream now brought within grasp. Your smile made me, your smile made my own high flying dreams feel accessible and beat back the self doubt of the racism I experienced as a child and the racism I experience now. To the dreamer, Claudine Gay, you have done what others will never do. You will forever be the first Black president of Harvard University. You claimed the highest honor in higher education, and you did it with effortlessly grace. I hope that is your I hope that in your resignation, you still feel the warmth of the Black community's reach at Harvard and beyond, a blanket against the cold world you and your family have faced in recent weeks. To make it abundantly clear, your tenure at Harvard and its impacts have not gone unnoticed. I hope your faith in your ability to be a pillar of hope for women who look like us remains unwavering. In your inaugurational speech, you beckoned us in the audience to ask, why not, when we consider the university's future. In light of these events, the question for Black women like myself becomes, how could I not? How could I not defy the racist remarks I receive? How could I not fight for the vision I see for myself? How could I not stand for what I know to be true and just? Excuse me. President Gay, you may see yourself as just the president of Harvard University, but for me, you are physical proof of the possibility of my grandest dreams. And so to the dreamer, president of Harvard University, Dr. Claudine Gay, born to Claudette and Sonny Gay Sr., I thank you for what you've done. Thank you for what you've meant to Black women everywhere. And in humble recognition of your presence and resilience, I will continue your legacy as a Black woman. I am a Black woman dedicated to achieving her dreams. I am a dreamer too. There you go. And that's from Keisha M. Williams, 25, a Crimson editorial editor, and she's also a psychology concentrator in Kirkland House. Wow. So we sometimes don't think of, well, you know what, this is how it's affecting this person, but how is it affecting this person? Where some people would say, she needed to go. Other people say, wow, she made me proud to think that maybe I possibly could become a president of a university or a president of anything. I may be able to open those doors when some people say, leave those doors alone that don't want to be opened. A lot of things that we can learn from her story, from her resignation. What may have tarnished it, allegedly, were the plagiarism accusations. Some people said because of those plagiarism accusations, she should have been reprimanded and not fired. Some people say because of the funding now colleges get, if the funders do not like what you're saying and what you stand for, then they will stop funding it. If there are accusations of mental illness, people threatening people, causing mental illness at a college, then the government will stop the funding. So was this, as Claudine has said, the pressures of her leaving because of the pressures on her? Now, throughout this, she didn't really apologize. We're going to do a commentary on that and talk to you about that. Where when she left, she did give her own commentary. We're going to talk about that too in another portion of the show. So stay tuned for that. But again, for Black women everywhere and for people everywhere, where you may see somebody like you, and they could be there for a while, or they could be gone like that. But just because they're gone doesn't mean that you can't take their spot in that place or another place. Something to think about. I'm Anthony Parker, keeping it simple, keeping it honest, and of course, keeping it real.